Namaskar. In this presentation, we will study pulse code modulation. In the previous lecture, we have seen that there are two types of pulse modulation. One is pulse analog modulation, under which we have studied PAM, PWM, and PPM. And another category of pulse modulation is digital modulation, under which the basic or the first category is pulse code modulation, from which the remaining categories are developed. The pulse code modulation is the process of modulation in which the message signal is represented by a sequence of coded pulse. These pulses are sequence of ones and zeros. Now, for example, the information signal is shown in the figure. The sampling has to be there. Initially also, and in the previous lecture also, I mentioned that whenever you are working with the digital communication or pulse communication, you have to take the sample of the analog signal, because information signal is analog in nature. So that has to be converted into discrete signal first, and then remaining modulation techniques are there. So if you are going to use any method of pulse modulation, either analog or digital, you have to take the sample. So sampling is the first process. The dotted line shows the sampling points or the sampling moments. Once these samples are taken, the instantaneous amplitude at that sample moment is converted into digital code, which is shown as a train of ones and zeros in the waveform. Now we are going to the details of the block diagram of pulse code modulation. This diagram includes transmitter section as well as receiver section. The transmission section has the low pass filter, then sample and hold circuit, quantizer, encoder. Then this encoded signal is passed through the channel. Their repeaters are used in order to establish the original amplitude level of the pulse, either 1 or 0. Then receiver part will have the decoder, reconstruction filter, and finally destination. Now this transmitter and receiver section individually we will see. This is the part of transmitter or generator. Here, as I said earlier, low pass filter is the band limiter. Band limiter means whatever signal x of t, analog signal, is coming, which is to be converted into coded signal, that has to be band limited signal. So to limit the frequency content of the x of t, the low pass filter having cutoff frequency equal to W Hertz is used. The output of this low pass filter is band limited. This signal is given to the sample and hold circuit. So here you are taking the samples, and hold circuit holds the voltage level of the sample. So certainly this is the flat top sampling is used. The output of the sample and hold circuit is given to the quantizer in order to assign one of the levels out of the fixed L levels. Then once the level is assigned to the sample, this level sampled signal is converted into typical code, binary code, having number of bits. Then the binary encoder output will be a parallel output, either 4-bit, 8-bit, 16-bit, and so on. But channel will have a single line, so this output, which is parallel, has to be converted into serial form using parallel to serial shift register, and then output, PCM output, will be available in the serial form, which will be sent on the channel. In order to perform all these things, I mean, once you take a sample, first sample say, the output of this sample will be placed on the channel. Once all these bits are placed on the channel, then second sample must be taken. So the parallel to serial shifting and taking the sample should be synchronized. So only one clock is used for these both purposes. If you come to the receiver part, again the same clock should be used. So synchronization is the main issue of the PCM. The same clock should be given to the serial to parallel converter, and the same clock should be given to the sample and hold circuit in the receiver also. After converting serial bits into parallel, then decoder is used. Decoder is nothing but the digital to analog converter, and here you are getting analog signal. Again this analog signal you are passing through the low pass filter in order to recover the original analog or information signal. The advantage part of the PCM, it has the high speed digital communication line, so all analog signals can be transmitted using this high speed digital communication system. The probability of occurring error is less because this is pulses. These are pulses, this is not a continuous varying signal, right? Another thing is that there is a coding method. So if there is a coding and if you add redundant bit, error can be easily corrected. Initially it can be easily detected and it can be corrected. It is resistant to the noise, right? Interference. So noise immunity is also high. Repeaters can be easily used in order to restore the pulse amplitude levels, which is not possible in the analog communication. Another thing is that as PCM signal is nothing but the train of ones and zeros, it can be easily stored. Of course, advantages are not single-sided. There are certain limitations. The sampling frequency must be equal to or higher than the, here there should be 2W. Otherwise distortion will occur. Another thing is that when you quantize the analog signal to the nearest quantization level, error has to be there. Error will be by default. Error is the inherent part of the PCM procedure that we are going to see in the next slide. Another important drawback or say limitation is that precise synchronization is needed. That we have seen that the same clock must be used for sampling as well as for parallel to serial conversion and so on. Due to encoding, decoding, quantizing and these steps are involved, the PCM circuitry becomes bit complicated and it needs larger bandwidth. These are the limitations of PCM. Apart from these limitations, PCM is the basic communication system from which remaining communication systems are devised. So it is used almost in all digital communication networks. It is also used for computer communication, digital telephony, CD drive and so on. PCM modulation is also used for temperature regulation, cold or heat storage, again for solar energy and so on. In spacecraft communication, when spacecrafts are there in the space and the signal are to be sent on the earth, these signal must be coded so that whatever error or interference takes place during the transmission, that can be easily detected and corrected. So for this also PCM is used. Now inherent part or step of the PCM is quantization. Quantization is the process of assigning predetermined level to the sampled analog signal, which is nearest to the sampled value, by assuring minimal error. Means what? In this diagram, the continuous or analog signal sine wave is shown. This sine wave is sampled at 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. Timing is shown. Now say for example 0.1. If you consider 0.1, the sample is taken and it is assigned a level, right? And then that level is converted into code 0110. If you consider point 2, so point 2 is something where here, right? Something here. Now if you take a sample point 2, that sample will be assigned digital value 1000 or 0111. Whichever value you assign, some error will be there because actual analog sample value is in between 1000 and 0111. So this is called as the quantization error. In this diagram you see there are certain quantized levels. How many quantization levels are there? L. How to devise this L? So the peak to peak amplitude of the analog signal is minus Vp2 plus Vp. Suppose this is minus 5 to plus 5, and suppose you are assigning 16 levels. So minus 5 to plus 5 means 10 volt. 10 divided by 16 is the difference between two quantization level, which is Q volt. This Q volt is nothing but the 10 upon 16, because 16 are the quantization levels. Now the lowest level is Vp plus Q by 2. Upper level is Vp plus 3Q by 2 and so on. And the last level is Vp minus Q by 2 up to Vp. Okay. All these levels, quantization levels, once you have finalized, each level is assigned a code. In this diagram, the picture is more clear. Say for example, first sample. The first sample value is 1.3 volt, but the quantization level is not 1.3, it is 0.5 or 1.5. So as 1.3 is near to the 1.5, the voltage is actually quantized to 1.5, and then this 1.5 is coded as 101, that is 5. If you take second sample, its voltage is 3.6, but the quantization value is 3.5. So 3.6 is quantized as or assigned as 3.5. म्हणजे जे सॅम्पल आपण घेतोय त्या सॅम्पलच्या क्वांटाइज लेवल असतीलच असं नाही ना, कारण क्वांटाइज लेवल मर्यादित आहेत आणि ॲनालॉग सिग्नल तर इन्फायनाइटली व्हेरिंग आहे. म्हणून सॅम्पल केलेल्या सिग्नलला उपलब्ध क्वांटायझेशन लेवलपैकी एकच लेवल असाइन केली जाते. आता या दुसऱ्या सॅम्पलमध्ये 3.6 व्होल्टेज आहे, पण त्याला व्होल्टेज लेवल कोणती असाइन केली? 3.5. म्हणजे तिथे ऑलरेडी 0.1 व्होल्टचं एरर आला. याला क्वांटायझेशन एरर असं म्हणतात. अँड देन दिस 3.5 इज असाइन्ड अ कोड 111. ओके, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज एन्कोडिंग. सो क्वांटायझेशन इज ऑल्सो क्लिअर and the quantization level is encoded, so encoding is also clear. Now these are the 3 bits generated. These 3 bits cannot be directly transmitted over the channel because you will need 3 lines, 3 wire लागतील 3 bit पाठवायला. Hence these parallel bits are converted into serial and then transmitted. So the quantization error is the difference between actual input or sampled value and its quantized value. आता तुम्हाला याच्यामध्ये डिजिटल ॲनालॉग सिग्नल दिसतोय आणि त्याचं सॅम्पलिंग केलं आहे आणि क्वांटाइज केलं. क्वांटाइज केल्यानंतर जी क्वांटायझेशन एरर आलेली आहे ती दिसते बघा, ती विशिष्ट लेव्हलमध्ये व्हेरी होती आहे, हो की नाही. आता अशा पद्धतीचं जर एरर आपल्याला कमी करायची असेल तर वेगवेगळे क्वांटायझेशनच्या मेथड्स आहेत, त्याचा आपण अभ्यास करूया. युनिफॉर्म अँड नॉन युनिफॉर्म क्वांटायझेशन, these are the basic 2 types. In uniform quantization we have mid-trade type or mid-rise type. In non-uniform quantization also there are 2 techniques. One is called as A-law compounding and another technique is called as mu-law compounding. This diagram shows the waveform of uniform quantizer. In the left hand side there is a mid-rise. Mid-rise याचा अर्थ काय? 0 जो पॉइंट आहे, ओरिजिन जो आहे तिथे राईज आहे, म्हणजे रायझिंग एज आलेली आहे. त्यामुळे मिड राईज युनिफॉर्म क्वांटायझरमध्ये 0 व्हॅल्यू असत नाही. एकतर निगेटिव्ह व्हॅल्यू असते -1 समजा या डायग्रॅमनुसार, किंवा +1, 0 असणार नाही. बट इन मिड ट्रेड टाईप ऑफ युनिफॉर्म क्वांटायझर द मिडल लाईन इज 0. त्यामुळे 0 व्हॅल्यू इथे आहे, आडवी रेष आहे ना तिथे, त्यामुळे. तर हे 2 प्रकार आहेत युनिफॉर्म क्वांटायझरचे. In the uniform quantizer you will see that the step size has same size. म्हणजे प्रत्येक पायरी ही सेम आहे, म्हणजे 2 लेव्हलमधलं अंतर सेम आहे, क्वांटाईज लेव्हलमधलं अंतर सेम आहे. पण आता याचा डिसॲडव्हान्टेज काय आहे? जर लो लेव्हल सिग्नल असेल त्यालाही स्टेप साईज तेवढीच, आणि हाय लेव्हल सिग्नल असेल त्यालाही स्टेप साईज तेवढीच. त्यामुळे लो लेव्हलचा सिग्नल जेव्हा असतो, लो ॲम्प्लिट्यूडचा सिग्नल जेव्हा असतो, तेव्हा त्याच्यामध्ये एरर जास्त येणार, क्वांटायझेशन एरर जास्त येणार, हे आपल्याला लक्षात येईल. बघा आता इथे, त्यामुळे नॉन युनिफॉर्म क्वांटायझेशन वापरलं जातं. इन नॉन युनिफॉर्म क्वांटायझेशन you can see that near the zero where the amplitude is very less small, the step size is very low and you are taking more quantization steps, or you are taking more samples rather, right? And when the amplitude of the input signal goes on increasing, then the step size is larger. Okay, असं केल्यामुळे काय होतं, जिथे ॲम्प्लिट्यूडची लेवलच कमी तिथे क्वांटायझेशन एरर कमी, त्यामुळे सिग्नल टू नॉईज रेशो छान येईल, सिग्नल चांगला राहील. आणि जिथे मुळात सिग्नल जास्त आहे तिथे क्वांटायझेशन एरर थोडी जास्त असली तरी चालेल. या टेक्निकमुळे सिग्नल टू नॉईज रेशो किंवा सिग्नल टू क्वांटायझेशन एरर रेशो इज ऑलमोस्ट कॉन्स्टंट ओव्हर complete range of the input signal. Now this non-uniform quantization is obtained using compounding. Compounding is what? Compounding is a technique of achieving non-uniform quantization. It is the word formed by combination of compression and expansion or expanding. बघा, सुरुवातीला सिग्नल कॉम्प्रेस केला जातो. आता कॉम्प्रेस होतो म्हणजे काय होतो, तर बघा कॉम्प्रेसरचं आणि एक्सपांडरचं पण कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक दिले आहेत. कॉम्प्रेस होतो म्हणजे काय होतो, जिथे इनपुट सिग्नल छोटा आहे म्हणजे हा पार्ट त्याचा, जिथे इनपुट सिग्नल लहान आहे तिथे तो वाढवला जातो, म्हणजे त्याचं ॲम्प्लिट्यूड वाढवलं जातं. आणि जिथे इनपुट सिग्नल मोठा आहे म्हणजे हा पार्ट, तिथे त्याचं ॲम्प्लिट्यूड कमी केलं जातं, म्हणजे कॉम्प्रेस केलं जातं. याला म्हणतात कॉम्प्रेसर कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक. आणि एक्झॅक्टली रिव्हर्स कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक एक्सपान्शनसाठी आहे. आता यामुळे काय होतं, जो सिग्नल लहान आहे, ज्याचा ॲम्प्लिट्यूड लहान आहे, तो मोठा केला जातो, आणि ज्याचं मोठं आहे त्याला लहान केलं जातं. असं केल्यानंतर आता आपण याला युनिफॉर्म क्वांटायझर अप्लाय करू शकतो. म्हणजे स्टेप साईज व्हेरी करण्याच्या ऐवजी आपण सिग्नललाच थोडंसं व्हेरी केलं आणि मग त्याला युनिफॉर्म क्वांटायझर अप्लाय केला, आणि मग क्वांटायझेशन केल्यानंतर आपण पुन्हा त्याला एक्सपांड करतो ॲट द रिसिव्हर साईड, त्यामुळे आपल्याला पुन्हा ओरिजिनल सिग्नल मिळतो. सो दीज आर द 2 टेक्निक्स, or say compressor and expansion characteristic. If you combine these two, you will have the compounding curve, where the red curve is the compression curve. You can see that lower valued signal or low amplitude signals are amplified and high amplitude signals are compressed or attenuated. Same reverse procedure of this compression is carried out in the expansion. It is shown using the blue curve. Now how to obtain this? There are 2 methods. One is called as A-law compounding, where this equation shows how to apply the mathematical treatment to the signal a of x upon 1 plus natural log of a if the signal is less than 1 by a, and if the signal is greater than 1 by a and less than 1, then another mathematical equation is used. If you use this mathematical equation and if you create the block and if you apply the signal to this, then A-law compounding is used. आता याचे वेगवेगळे कर्व दिलेले आहेत बघा. जेव्हा एची व्हॅल्यू 100 आहे तेव्हा तो जो कंपाऊंडिंगचा कर्व आहे तो हा असा सगळ्यात मोठा कर्व आहे बघा, आपल्याला दिसेल, ज्याच्यामध्ये कॉम्प्रेशन आणि अटेन्युएशन आपल्याला लक्षात येतं आहे. फॉर ए इज इक्वल टू 1 इट बिकम्स द लिनियर quantization and there is no compression. Okay, similarly another law is mu law compounding. त्याचंही मॅथमॅटिकल इक्वेशन दिलेलं आहे आणि त्याची व्हॅल्यू जेव्हा म्यूची व्हॅल्यू 255 असते किंवा 100 असते त्यावेळी नॉन लिनियर कॉम्प्रेशन होतं आणि म्यूची व्हॅल्यू जर 0 असेल तर त्यावेळी लिनियर कॉम्प्रेशन होतं, म्हणजे कॉम्प्रेशन होत नाही. So there are various applications of this compounding, especially in the speech and music. आणि अमेरिका, कॅनडा, जपान या ठिकाणी म्यू लॉ कंपाऊंडिंग हे म्युझिक आणि स्पीचसाठी वापरलं जातं, whereas युरोपमध्ये ए लॉ कंपाऊंडिंग वापरलं जातं. So this is what is the last slide of the session, and here we conclude or we stop the presentation of pulse code modulation. Thank you.